If you have been following the channel, you've probably heard comparisons of some features of the OnePlus 11 with phones that I have tested and reviewed. With the OnePlus 11 recently getting the Android 14 update, and with the OnePlus 12 slated to be released sometime in early January, let's take a year-end look at the OnePlus 11. OnePlus has decided to change up the rear of the OnePlus 11 with a more circular camera feature over the more squared off design of the OnePlus 10T. It's definitely got a unique design, especially with the Hasselblad logo plastered right between the camera cutouts. And for some, it might be a turn-off, but I actually don't mind it. Unlike the Pixel 8 or the 8 Pro, the camera feature on the OnePlus 11 doesn't quite blend into the frame, which unfortunately feels a little less premium. The phone is IP64 rated for dust, but it's not water resistant. It will withstand a good splash or shower, but if you're concerned about water resistance, you might want to look at other devices with higher IP rating. This time around, OnePlus has decided to bring back the iconic signature alert slider, which was noticeably absent from the OnePlus 10T. Similar to the iPhone's mute switch, the alert slider is a much more tactile and physical way to change ringer option, and is a quicker way to put your phone on vibrate or mute. Now, depending on the color, you'll either get a glossy finish with the emerald green variant, which is a fingerprint magnet and highly reflective, or the alternative, which is kind of a throwback to the OnePlus 2 with a sandstone black without the textured back. It is slippery, and I mean very slippery, and I would recommend a case on it as the phone is only equipped with Gorilla Glass 5 on the back and Victus on the front. Speaking of fingerprint, even though the OnePlus 11 only comes with an optical fingerprint sensor, I found it to be a lot more responsive, even compared to other flagship devices like the Pixel 8 and the Nothing Phone 2, and OnePlus has made the right decision by moving the fingerprint sensor slightly higher on the display, making it slightly easier to register than the OnePlus 10T. Now onto the display. The OnePlus 11 has a 6.7-inch QHD+ AMOLED display. The phone comes with an upgraded LTPO3 display with Dolby Vision and HDR10+ support. The phone supports up to 3216 by 1440 pixels at 525 pixels per inch, which means the display is able to reproduce sharper images, so make sure you toggle this on under the display setting as it is shipped with the lower resolution by default. The display is sharp with great contrast and deep blacks that you expect from an AMOLED display. I should point out that the OnePlus 11 has a curved display, and if you prefer the flat display, the Pixel 8 or 8 Pro might be the better option. And if you're on the fence as to which to choose, make sure you check out my review of both the Pixel 8 and the 8 Pro, links in the description below. As mentioned before, the OnePlus 11 ships with the latest LTPO3 display, which means it can dynamically toggle the refresh rate of the display between 120Hz and 1Hz in order to save on battery. Although, I have personally found that the display struggles on certain apps like YouTube and Instagram, as it tries to toggle down the refresh rate between videos and photos, and you can clearly see the display struggling to keep up, making the experience slightly frustrating. Fortunately, you can set the refresh rate for certain apps. I was hoping that this would be fixed with over half a year of software updates, and especially with the update to Android 14. When it comes to screen brightness, the OnePlus 11 lags behind its competition at 1300 nits of peak brightness. And after testing both the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro, there's really no competition with a significantly higher peak brightness on both Pixel models. You can forgive OnePlus as the phone did come out in early 2023. Fortunately, the OnePlus 12 is rumored to be packed with a significantly brighter screen. In terms of the battery, the OnePlus 11 has been truly impressive. Firstly, the phone comes with the charger included out of the box, which is a nice surprise for 2023 standards. With the included charging brick, it's definitely no slouch when it comes to charging, with 100 watt charging internationally, whilst it is capped out at 80 watts in the United States. The phone has been by far the fastest charging speeds on any phones I have tested this year, only beating out by the OnePlus 10T. This means you can charge up the OnePlus 11 from 0 to 100% in less than 30 minutes. It's a shame, however, that OnePlus has decided to drop wireless charging on the OnePlus 11, which may be a deal breaker for those who have relied on wireless charging previously. Personally, with how fast the OnePlus 11 charges, I haven't actually missed wireless charging at all during my time testing the device. And I've been impressed with the phone's battery as it is equipped with a 5000 mAh battery. I have tried time and time again, but have not been able to successfully kill the battery during a normal day of use. On average, I have been ending the day with close to 50% of charge left and with 3 hours of screen on time. With heavier use days with navigation and filming with the camera, I had ended the day at 15% battery with 4.5 hours of use. You can even track the phone's battery health under settings. All in all, a truly amazing battery experience. Now if you're looking for flagship performance, you've come to the right place, as the OnePlus 11 is packed with the Snapdragon Gen 2 chipset. It comes in fairly high on the list when it comes to benchmarks, with better CPU and GPU performance. You certainly won't find any issues running games at those high settings and frame rates, and OnePlus even includes a dedicated gaming overlay to keep track of those frame rates, GPU and CPU temperatures, alongside options to disable notifications or calls, even an embedded toggle for Discord whilst in game. The phone is paired with up to 16GB of LPDDR5 RAM, and you won't have any problems running multiple apps. OnePlus estimates that you can run up to 44 apps in the background with the highest 16GB model. OnePlus has also included not Wi-Fi 6 or 6E, but the latest Wi-Fi 7, which I'm sure most will not be able to take advantage of. It also has USF 4.0 storage, the fastest internal storage currently available. Overall, when it comes to performance, the OnePlus 11 certainly never settles. Sorry, pun intended. Now when it comes to cameras, the OnePlus 11 features a triple camera setup with a 50MP main wide, a 32MP telephoto, and a 48MP ultra wide. The 50MP wide camera bins down images to 12.5MP by default. With Hasselblad's color tuning on the main camera, you'll get good contrast and good color reproduction, alongside excellent dynamic range. The telephoto lens is disappointing, only having 2x optical zoom, which is useful for those cropped in portraits, but it definitely lags behind what the Pixel 8 Pro has with its 5x optical zoom, and even Samsung's 10x optical zoom with the S23 Ultra. Definitely expect the photos to look grainy with anything more than 2x zoom. Similarly, the 48MP ultrawide does a decent job at capturing more of the scene with its 115-degree field of view, but I found that the ultrawide was just okay, nothing to write home about. The OnePlus 11 shoots up to 8K 24 frames per second videos, with both 4K and 1080p options available at 30 or 60 frames per second. Video quality looks just fine with good color reproduction and contrast. Here are some photos and videos from my time testing the OnePlus 11. All in all, you get a good set of cameras on the OnePlus 11, but just don't expect it to blow you away. But I must admit, having tested numerous cameras this year, nothing's quite as satisfying as hearing that Hasselblad shutter click. Now moving on to software. Most OnePlus fans would know that about 2 years ago, the company decided to merge OS systems. Now it's still called Oxygen OS, but over the years it's becoming more and more similar to Oppo's Color OS. Customization is what Android is all about, and Oxygen OS still delivers. You can select different edge lighting options, fingerprint animation, alongside various icon packs you can select to suit your preference. You'll get some new features with the recent Android 14 update. One of those features is the new Smart Sidebar, where you can drag and drop to transfer content between apps using that sidebar. There's also more charging options where you can choose to have the phone's battery charge up to only 80% in order to improve on battery durability. And with the new Android 14 update, the Clock/Timer app has been updated to have a more dynamic island feel. Now I should forewarn that there are a few nuances with Oxygen OS that I have found to be inconvenient to say the least. By default, swiping down from the top of the screen accesses the shelf rather than the notification tray, but thankfully this can be disabled under settings. Having to tap twice to open the app from notifications, There's even this weird bug which I found after the Android 14 update, where the top right side of the notification bar will not display any of the essential notifications. What's even more frustrating is that when you attempt to close YouTube, it doesn't actually close the app, and when you go back to YouTube, all you get is a blank video with audio playing. And the only way to fix this is by restarting the actual app itself. Speaking of OS update, OnePlus is committed to 4 years of Android OS update, while 3 now with the update to Android 14, alongside 5 years of security updates. The OnePlus 11 is priced at $1,100 here in Australia for the 16GB model with 256 gigs of storage. OnePlus has certainly made a comeback with the OnePlus 11. Of course, you do pay for some of those compromises with the lack of a wireless charging and the lower IP rating. Overall, if you're looking for great performance and excellent battery life with a good set of cameras at a lower price point, then the OnePlus 11 is certainly for you. Just wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone who has tuned in to the videos, and a huge thank you to those who have subscribed to the channel. Wishing everyone a happy new year, and stay tuned for more content in 2024 here on K-Tech Insights.